Hi class. So I chose to do the overuse of marijuana in Canada, and 37,400 medical marijuana users are recognized by the department, and it's predicted that by 2024 it's expected to be used by 450,000 people. And as I'm scrolling right now, this is just the different provinces in Canada and the percentage of how many people 15 and older use marijuana. Okay, so there are 4,200 growers with 2 patients maximum each. The average age of the first use of marijuana in Canada is about 14 years old. A gram of dried marijuana bud on the street sells for about $10, and Health Canada projects legal stuff will average about $7.60 next year, so it'll be a couple dollars cheaper. Marijuana use by Canadian teens is among the highest in the world because of the way it's prepared and used. And large indoor marijuana farms certified by the RCMP and health inspectors will produce, package, and distribute a range of standardized weed. Okay, so for the first video,
You think a bunch of harmless old hippies with green thumbs. But marijuana money has found a new and nasty crowd.
This is disheartening. This is just stupidity that this has to come into the picture.
Pot deals bring disturbing amounts of cocaine and guns to the table. And even the cops are confused about whom to bust.
Medical marijuana really complicates the environment for law enforcement.
Between the growers and the gangs, it's become one of Canada's largest economies.
Okay, and then we'll move on to the second video.
Marijuana was a safe and quiet cottage industry. Not anymore.
Police, search warrant, come to the door!
Today, the business has erupted in chaos. Huge profits are a magnet for organized crime, and rival street gangs battle over market share.
You've got
Okay, and then the last video.
Hitting middle age, an estimated 1 million people now use pot to relieve medical ailments. Less than 2% of them get their cannabis from compassion clubs. The other 98% use the black market.
Okay, and that's all we have for Canada, but my next country is France, and they overuse prescription pills. France has more pharmacies than any other European country. They have about 23,271 pharmacies for about 60 million people. And as I'm scrolling right now, these are just the common prescription pills. Because of cheap drugs and accommodating doctors, Western Europeans, especially the French, take more tranquilizers and antidepressants than practically anyone else in the world. The French consume 78 tranquilizers and antidepressants per 1,000 people, whereas when comparing them to Americans, the Americans only consume about 64 per 1,000 people. Opioids, central nervous system depressants, amphetamines, and stimulants are common use prescription pills. This is just a picture of oxycodone. Americans spend on average more than 3 times as much on antidepressants than the French, so it's a lot cheaper for the French, so it's easier for them to keep buying. And then the last picture, painkillers and antidepressants cost the country's medical insurance more than $20 billion a year. And then we'll move on to the first video.
One that shows how deep the problem of substance abuse is in France. The latest study by the French government focuses particularly on addiction at workplace. Some 20,000 people with all kinds of jobs were questioned for months. But as analysts say, even today, talking about substance abuse at workplace is a big taboo.
Okay, and then the second video.
So you know what you're getting.
Oxy was developed to treat people in severe chronic pain like terminally ill cancer patients. But it's now become a part of a booming illicit trade in prescription pills, the heart of which is right here in...
Okay, and then the last video.
where they combine
medications with something else. If you do that, it's easy to make a catastrophic mistake. And every 19 minutes, a person dies from prescription drugs.
Okay, and that's all I have for the overuse of drugs in Canada and France. And here's my works cited. And then my works cited is also, if you keep scrolling, at the bottom.